Football is the best sport. Well, your shoes are ugly. You're out. I tagged you. That doesn't count. I was thinking about science. I'll take pizza over hamburgers any day. Rude, so you want to make hamburgers illegal?
Ever tried to argue with someone and they didn't make any sense? Well, that's where logic comes in. And when it goes off the rails, communication breaks down. In this video series, we've already looked at parts of an argument, such as in this video where we introduced claim and rebuttal. And this one over here, where we looked at how ethos, pathos, and logos are a superhero persuasion team ready for action. It's time to let logos take center stage and focus on the message of an argument, which can be a difficult topic. So this video will focus on some introductory principles, while a separate video will look at logical fallacies. Let's get to it. Logic is a process of thinking clearly to create a reasonable conclusion. In other words, it's the art of thinking.
Logical.
We know that arguments have claims, but just because someone has reasons to support their claim doesn't mean they have good ones. In order to know, attentive readers should be able to trace an argument. Think of tracing like when you follow the dotted lines to create an image. When faced with an argument, tracing means first, identify the author's claim, then follow or trace their logic, making sure the author has good reasons to support their claim. This will allow you to decide whether you should believe the claim. Let's look at some basic examples of reasoning. Each start with what we call a premise and work their way to a conclusion. See if the reasoning is good or bad. First up, all humans have brains. John is a human, therefore John has a brain. Is that true?
But some people without brains do an awful lot of talking, don't they?
Yes, I guess you're right.
This example is good reasoning. Each statement connects with the other. It starts with a broad claim, gives a specific example, and reaches a reasonable conclusion. If both statements are true, then the final statement has to be true. However, change it up a little and you'll notice it doesn't work. All humans have brains. Judy the bunny has a brain. Therefore, Judy is a human. This is now bad reasoning. The argument is basically saying everyone in group A has this feature, in this case, a brain. Judy has that feature, so Judy must be in group A. But that's a mistake. Just because all humans have brains doesn't mean brains only belong to humans.
Everyone comes to Zootopia thinking they can be anything they want. Well, you can't.
Here's another. Nikki saw a black cat. At work, Nikki got fired. Therefore, the cat caused it. This is bad reasoning. In fact, it's not even logic, it's superstition. Are there other reasons as to why Nikki may have gotten fired? And finally, my daughter's boyfriend drives an old car. He must be poor. What do you think? Good or bad? This is also bad reasoning. Maybe the boyfriend isn't putting money into his car, but saving it for other things, like a ring.
Can I say something crazy? Will you marry me?
Can I say something even crazier? Yes!
There are different types of reasoning people use when forming arguments. One is deductive, which goes from a general rule to a specific case, such as all mammals breathe air. This is a broad statement and true. A dolphin is a mammal. This is more specific. And our conclusion is, therefore, dolphins breathe air. Another is inductive, which goes from specific examples to come up with a general idea or rule. Like, every time I've dropped this ball, it's fallen to the ground. This is an example of a situation. My conclusion? If I drop this ball off this cliff, I will lose it.
Look at me pulling out ahead. When are you gonna breathe? I'm way out here. Ooh. Aye.
Inductive focuses on the quality of your evidence to reach a conclusion. In everyday life, we usually start with examples, observations, data, anecdotes to build a claim. It's evidence first, conclusion last. This is why inductive reasoning is used in common everyday essays, like when your teacher asks you to write an argument. When we're dealing with informal inductive logic, good reasoning depends on the quality of the evidence. One helpful way to evaluate evidence is to ask 3 questions. First, is it relevant? Does this evidence actually support the claim being made? Just because something is true doesn't mean it helps prove the point. Second, is it sufficient? Is there enough evidence? Or is the conclusion based on too little information? And third, is it acceptable? Can the evidence be trusted? Is it believable, accurate, and from a reliable source? Good reasoning depends on good evidence. Deductive and inductive will take time to fully understand, but knowing when something makes sense and when it doesn't is the heart of the matter. That's it for now. Make sure you like and subscribe for more content.